Askreddit Asks, what's a tip that everyone should know which might one day save their life?
One of the many things I watched on TV as a kid were Elvis Presley movies. In one of his movies he has a date with a girl in her apartment. She cooks a roast in the oven for their dinner. Elvis arrives and the food is burning. Flames are shooting out of the oven. She makes a move to throw water on the fire. But Elvis stops her and grabs a container of salt and throws handfuls of salt onto the fire, which promptly puts it out. One day I'm sitting in the living room when I hear my mother yell from the kitchen. I race there and flames are leaping out of the broiler. Huge grease fire, almost as high as the stove itself. Mother makes a move to throw water on it. But remembering how Elvis did it, I stop her. Then I grab a container of salt and throw handfuls of salt onto the fire, which immediately extinguishes the flames within seconds. Mother looks at me with a surprised expression on her face and she asks me, "How did you know to do that?" "Thanks, Elvis. Thank you very much."
Unless there is a danger in doing so. Stay in your car if you're stranded in the desert, snow. Edit. Okay, yes. If you're in the desert you may need to get under your car because of the heat. But don't get away from your car. Your car is easier to find than you. Edit 2. And yes, if you know where you are and know how to get safely to a safe place, do it. But don't go to search for help without aim. Edit 3. Don't walk on the roadside. You're gonna get hit.
Don't pour water on a grease fire.
Calm people live. Tense people, URL redacted, watch. VEK_CPT. So, the most important thing you can ever do in a potentially life-threatening situation is breathe when possible, and focus on doing things calmly. You can always freak out later. Panic after you survive.
My parents got into a car accident before I was born. Drunk driver hit their taxi, and luckily they were so drunk that they were incredibly calm about it. And were then told that's what may have saved their lives.
Know how to swim. You don't need to be Michael Phelps. But it's great to be able to swim decently and tread water. Also, if you're ever kidnapped, try to leave personal items along the way. Like drop a ring or earring in the car or something. It can be helpful to find you and is evidence in trial at it. First gold. Thank you.
I'm an idiot and left my wallet on my car when pumping gas. And drove off with it on there. It fell off on the side of the interstate. And a couple saw it and pulled over to use my ID to find both me and my parents on Facebook to message us. They wanted to be sure that I wasn't kidnapped and threw it out as a clue. I had never even thought of that before. But I remember thinking, what a clever idea. At all costs, don't let an attacker drag you into a vehicle. You never want to go to a second location.
Also, if you do get put into a car, I read to urinate, spit, pull hair out to get your DNA in the car. Edit. Just read that urine isn't an ideal way to get DNA. But at least it will be suspicious it too. Wow, thanks for platinum! Exclamation mark.
Yup, you can be damn sure if I'm going to die. I'm dying right where I am.
If you're lost in the woods, don't leave your location. People searching for you will start at your last known location, heading. And you'll just make their job harder by expanding the search area. If you must leave, follow water. Early cities, towns were usually founded near a source of water. If you follow a stream you're more likely to run into civilization. Usually downstream, but really depends where you are. Edit. Jeebus people. I'm not saying this is a magical spell that protects you from everything. Or a universal law that works 100% of the time. Apparently I need to clarify not to follow the water off a cliff. Into a cave. Into a tiger pit. Into a van marked free candy.
Added bonus of following the water is that the searchers might put 2 and 2 together and follow it after you. And you have water. Maybe.
If you're stabbed or impaled and the offending object is still in your body, do not pull it out. Doing so can make you bleed out.
Vomiting can make a potential rapist leave you alone. If nothing else works, put your finger down your throat. Kids.
This also works for the above post if someone is trying to kidnap you or get you into their car.
This is my safe word for my kids. They don't have cell phones. I tell them if they ever feel uncomfortable or need me to come get them, but don't want anyone to know they are uncomfortable to tell the nearest adult in charge that they just threw up.
My brother went to New Orleans with his buddy and their girlfriends. While walking around they get stopped by the huge black guy in a crisp white suit and he says this: "I'm gonna give y'all kids some rules to follow while you're here. 1. Never leave your drinks unattended. Everyone will try to put shit in there. Even the bartenders. 2. You boys don't ever let your girls walk alone on these streets. Even with a weapon, they might get taken. 3. If you're walking down a neighborhood and you don't see any children wandering around, leave immediately. If it's not safe enough for the kids, it ain't safe for you. 4. If y'all wanna buy some crack, I got some. Edit. Thanks for the gold, guys."
The Doomba.
If this doesn't become a famous home defense system, you could always pitch this name to the sex toy industry.
If you ever feel intense pressure in your chest that radiates up into your jaw, you are probably having a heart attack. Source: had heart attack last month. I get this feeling every time I eat 188 sushis at the all-you-can-eat sushi buffet. Please be aware that not everyone presents this way. Women and diabetics can present atypically. If you think you may be having a heart attack, don't waste time before you seek medical attention, much like a stroke. Time is precious.
If you've been stabbed, leave the sharp object in the wound until it can be treated by a professional. Sometimes the knife, stick, whatever is the only thing sealing the wound so you don't bleed out. On a similar note, if you for some reason get stabbed in the eye with a stick, cover both eyes. Moving your injured eye can cause more damage. And it's impossible to move your eyes independently, and if they aren't covered you'll instinctively look around with the uninjured one.
I've never thought about the fact that you can't move your eyes independently. Now it's driving me insane that I can't.
If you're in the passenger seat of a car, never put your feet on the dashboard. In the event that you're in a car accident, knee bones into your skull won't end well. Edit to add. Yes, please don't do this in the driver's seat either, lol.
And if it doesn't damage your face, it will damage your hips.
If you believe someone is in your home, whatever you do, don't turn on the lights. As much as you'd feel more comforted if the lights were on. You know your house better than anyone. You would have an easy time moving around your house while the intruder would be a lot slower. What do you do if you suspect someone is in your home? I don't think calling 911 every time you have suspicions makes sense. But I never know what the game plan should be.
And don't use a damn flashlight either. Just gives away your location.
Do not jump in the water to save a drowning person unless absolutely necessary, i.e. a child, etc. Drowning people tend to clasp on their rescuers and drag them under with them. Find something to throw or some sort of lifeline. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to support the channel, and above all, have an excellent day, you wonderful people.